Bills Mafia, what's going on? You already know this team is chasing greatness every single week. The Buffalo Bills are working day in and day out to sharpen every detail, fix every weakness, and put themselves in the best position to bring that Lombardi trophy home. And that's why every update matters. Every roster move, every injury, every piece of news shapes the journey ahead. Before we dive in, do me a quick favor. Smash that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and drop your thoughts in the comments. We're building the biggest and best Bills community right here, and your voice is part of the story. Now let's get into it because this one caught a lot of fans off guard. In the middle of what was supposed to be a routine Week 4 win, a 31-19 victory over the New Orleans Saints, the Bills took an unexpected hit. Special teams, often overlooked until something goes wrong, became the storyline when punter Cameron Johnston suffered a leg injury late in the fourth quarter. Saints linebacker Nephi Sewell crashed into Johnston's plant leg, a dangerous spot for any kicker or punter. Immediately, you could feel the air shift on the sideline. Johnston limped off, and everyone watching knew this wasn't going to be something you just shake off. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport has already reported Johnston is expected to miss time. That means Buffalo is officially in the market for a replacement punter as they prepare for their third divisional matchup in just the first 5 weeks of the season. Now, you might be thinking, it's just a punter. How big of a deal can it be? Let me tell you, it's huge. Field position battles win games, especially in the AFC East where margins are razor thin. One bad punt in Foxborough or Miami can flip an entire game. The Bills know it, Sean McDermott knows it, and that's why they've already started working through possible replacements. Let's start with the most familiar name, Brad Robbins. Bills fans remember him, maybe a little too well. Robbins started the season as Buffalo's punter, but his Week 1 performance against the Baltimore Ravens left a sour taste. He averaged just 38 net yards on 4 punts. In a game of inches, that's not going to cut it. The Bills moved on quickly, bringing in Johnston, who stabilized the position. But here we are, just weeks later, and Robbins suddenly looks like the early favorite to get another shot. Why? Because of familiarity. He spent the offseason working with McDermott, the coaching staff, and the special teams unit. He knows the system. He knows the locker room. Bringing him back doesn't require a big learning curve, and sometimes, especially mid-season, familiarity is the safest play. Now, here's the most intriguing option. Ryan Stonehouse. Bills Mafia, if you like leg talent, this guy has it. During his first 2 seasons with the Tennessee Titans, he was electric. In 2022 and 2023, he ranked 4th and 6th in net punting average across the entire NFL. That's elite. But 2024? It was a different story. His net average fell by over 5 yards per punt, making him the worst regular punter in the league last season. That's a massive drop-off, and it cost him his job. The question is, was 2024 just a fluke? Stonehouse is only 26 years old. He's young, he's athletic, and there's every reason to believe he could bounce back. If the Bills want upside, if they want someone who could potentially flip the field in January when every yard matters, Stonehouse might be worth the gamble. The third name on the radar is Michael Palardy. Now, Palardy isn't going to wow anyone with stats. He's been in the league since 2016, mostly as a journeyman. He averages about 41 net yards per punt over his career, serviceable but nothing special. The selling point for Palardy is experience. He's been around the league, he's handled pressure situations, and he's played for 4 different teams. Most recently, he had a short stint with the Arizona Cardinals in 2024, though he only appeared in 4 games. He didn't play at all in 2023, so there are legitimate questions about rust. Still, when you're in a bind, sometimes a steady veteran is what you need. Palardy may not be flashy, but he could provide stability until Johnston gets back. It's worth noting, the Bills also reportedly worked out Mitch Wishnowsky and Pat O'Donnell on Monday. Both are veterans with plenty of experience. Neither name screams long-term solution, but they're part of the mix. The truth is, the punter market is thin. Buffalo doesn't have the luxury of choosing from stars. They need someone who can step in immediately and do the job.
While the punter situation grabbed headlines, Sean McDermott also gave updates on a handful of players eligible to return from injured reserve in Week 5. Maxwell Hairston, Tyler Bass, Tylen Grable, and Gabe Davis. Now let's break that down. Maxwell Hairston. The rookie cornerback went down with an LCL injury in camp. At one point he needed crutches, and now he's still wearing a heavy brace. Reporters did catch him doing backpedaling and change of direction drills with trainers last week, which is encouraging, but he's not game ready yet. Tyler Bass, this one stinks. The fan favorite kicker dealt with pelvic area soreness during camp, came back for a preseason game, but then landed on IR with groin and hip issues. The Bills brought in 41-year-old Matt Prater, who's been steady, hitting 8 of 9 field goals so far. But let's be honest, Buffalo wants Bass back. His accuracy and chemistry with the unit are hard to replace. Tylen Grable, the 6th-round offensive tackle, entered concussion protocol during camp. He was supposed to be the swing tackle this season, but with his placement on IR, Ryan Vandemark has had to step up. Gabe Davis, signed to the practice squad after leaving Jacksonville, he was placed on the injured list almost immediately due to a lingering knee injury. He's a depth piece, not a headliner, but still worth watching. McDermott was clear, there's no firm timeline. The team can open each player's 21-day practice window, but once that clock starts ticking, a decision has to be made. Active roster, practice squad, or season-ending IR. For now, it's still wait and see. Here's the reality, Bills Mafia. Buffalo sits at 4-0. They've shown resilience, they've shown depth. But this team isn't at full strength. Between Johnston's injury, Bass still on IR, and key depth players missing time, it's a reminder that the NFL season is a war of attrition. Special teams doesn't always get the spotlight, but in tight games, especially divisional ones, the kicking and punting game can be the difference. The Patriots are up next, and you better believe Bill Belichick's defense will try to pin Buffalo deep whenever possible. The Bills can't afford to lose the field position battle. So here's the question. Who should Buffalo trust to step in at punter? Do you go back to Brad Robbins for familiarity? Do you gamble on Ryan Stonehouse's upside? Or do you take the steady veteran in Michael Pilardi? The Buffalo Bills have opened the 2025 NFL season in style. Josh Allen, the reigning MVP, has been nothing short of spectacular. 4 games, 4 wins, and in every single one of those games, this offense has hung at least 30 points on the scoreboard. That's dominance. Simple enough.
But as any of us who have followed football long enough know, dominance often comes with setbacks. And while the offense is firing on all cylinders, the defense and special teams are already being tested with injuries. In Week 4, Buffalo handled the New Orleans Saints with authority, a 30-plus point offensive explosion once again. But what stood out just as much was how the defense held strong, even without some of its biggest names. Ed Oliver was sidelined with a sprained ankle. Spencer Brown didn't suit up, and Matt Milano, our heart and soul linebacker, was unavailable as well. Despite that, the Bills held the Saints to just 19 points. That's a testament to depth, coaching, and that next man up mentality. But now, Sean McDermott has given us an update, and it's a mix of good and bad news. On Monday, Coach McDermott confirmed that punter Cameron Johnston has suffered a foot and ankle injury and will miss some time. Now, let's pause here for a second, because I know what some fans are already thinking. He's just a punter. How big of a deal can this be? But don't underestimate the value of a punter, especially one like Johnston. Field position is everything in this league, and Johnston has been one of the most reliable specialists in football. The 33-year-old Australian-born punter is in his 8th season and is second with Buffalo. He came over with a reputation for a booming leg and consistency. He's been with the Eagles, Texans, and Steelers. Heck, he even has a Super Bowl ring from his rookie year in Philadelphia. This season, he's been averaging 44 yards a punt. That's not just flipping the field. It's giving the defense room to breathe, giving McDermott and Frazier's unit the ability to dial up different looks and keeping the pressure off Allen in the offense. Losing Johnston is not something to just shrug at. The search for reinforcements. McDermott confirmed the Bills will be bringing in punters for evaluation this week. That means tryouts, workouts, and potentially a short-term signing depending on how long Johnston is out. This is where Brandon Beane and the front office will really earn their paycheck. You need a punter who can step in immediately, someone who understands situational football, someone who isn't just blasting the ball as far as possible, but placing it where it needs to go. It's also worth noting that Johnston has been a steady presence in the locker room. Replacing him, even temporarily, means more than just finding a guy with a big leg. You need someone who can hold for Tyler Bass, someone who fits the rhythm of the special teams unit. That chemistry matters. Now, let's move to the other side of McDermott's update, because it wasn't all bad news. Ed Oliver, Spencer Brown, and Matt Milano, all three were described as moving in the right direction. That's encouraging, but McDermott stopped short of guaranteeing their return for Week 5. This is where the timing of the schedule gets tricky, because Week 5 isn't just another game, it's the Patriots. And not just any Patriots team, but one that just dropped 43 points on Carolina. Yes, it's the Panthers, and no, New England isn't suddenly an offensive juggernaut, but you better believe they're feeling confident. And you know Bill Belichick. Every time Buffalo comes up on the schedule, he finds a way to make it a chess match. Having Oliver clogging the middle, Milano patrolling the field, and Brown anchoring the offensive line could be the difference in whether this game is another statement win or a gut-check reminder that the AFC East is always a fight. Of course, the one constant right now is Josh Allen. 4 weeks, 10 total touchdowns, and a command of this offense that shows why he's the reigning MVP. He's making throws that no one else in the league can make. He's extending plays with his legs, keeping defenses honest, and maybe most importantly, he's protecting the football better. Allen is showing that he's not just a superstar, but a leader who elevates everyone around him. And when you combine that with Dalton Kincaid's emergence, James Cook's consistency in the run game, and Keon Coleman flashing as a potential breakout star, you see why this offense feels unstoppable. But even the best quarterback in football benefits from having a complete team. And that's where these injuries really matter. If Johnston's absence flips the field position battle, or if the defense has to bend a little too much without its leaders, that puts more pressure on Allen. And we all know how this league works. If you put too much on your quarterback's shoulders, even the best ones can only carry you so far. All right, Bills Mafia, I want to hear from you. This is your team, your voice matters. Do you think the punter situation could actually cost Buffalo a game down the stretch? Are you confident in McDermott and Beane to make the right call? And of the three main options, Robbins, Stonehouse, or Pilardi, who do you want to see suiting up against the Patriots? Drop your answers in the comments below, and if you made it this far, do me a favor, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and join the family. Every week, we're breaking down the biggest Bills news, the hottest rumors, and the stories that matter most to you. This season's going to be a ride, and we're taking it together.